And there is the next small pike. Pike fishing here at the Old Fortress works again and again quite well, especially, of course, when the time is right, when the baits are right, and when you know where and above all how. So get over here to the Old Fortress, cast out and try. There are different spots and of course also numerous baits that keep working quite well here at the Old Fortress for fishing pike. I will show you here piece by piece how you can best fish for pike with different setups at different spots. One quite good possibility is this spot here, where you can also now and then fish for eel. And eel fishing I just tried, that was overnight, and I had only one burbot caught. And now after the burbot I thought, come on, I will also try again for pike. And yes, up to 8 kilograms pike has already gone in here. So that was already some quite good sizes. And now I pull through here again and again. There were also some quite small pikes with it, those I threw directly back. But the big ones, or a bit bigger ones, and above all those that are size-worthy, I of course gladly take with me. And something really small now here that just stays in the water again. We do not need to take that with us. That brings anyway as good as no silver. So, under 1 silver probably, such a really small pike. And cafe orders are mostly also here and usually around 2 kilograms. So catch 2 times a 2 kilogram pike, and then the order is often here at the Old Fortress. And that then brings usually around 100 silver for 2 pikes. And that of course you can do quite well. So out directly again with it, and I pull now here with the wobbler through, and I had already recently made a video about the wobbler also at Elk Lake, for example. So if you still want to train and practice a little spinning, it works there of course, really well. And here at this spot we are now also again with the wobbler on the way. And then you have to pay attention again, how is the diving depth of the wobbler? And if I now make one whole rotation here, then it can happen that the wobbler shoots directly down to the ground. Especially here in this area, it is usually so about 1 meter and 20 centimeters deep. And there we have to check. When we have the wobbler, this one has here a diving depth of 1 meter. And when we then come more towards the shore area, it becomes of course shallower, and then it can be that the bait shoots to the ground. This is of course now here again a high-end setup. I will show you in a moment another setup that you can use in the mid-game perfectly well for pike fishing. Nevertheless, here you can see some very important points. Besides the bait, I am now using a steel leader and also a relatively thick monoline. Pike can weigh maximum maybe around 20 kilograms. At big lakes we already have the really big super trophy pikes. And here, well, if you catch something big here, then it's already in the direction of 15 kilograms. But also, such a thing is extremely rare here at the Old Fortress. Nevertheless, it can of course happen, and that is why I gladly also go in here with steel leader. And if you then have a break on the reel of about 15 kilograms, then you also get this pike. Even if it goes in at trophy size, you get this pike relatively easily reeled in, so tired out and then pulled back on land. On the bait here, I have a hook size 2. So this is the funky Mino F11 series. And the F11 in the version 002 here delivers again and again regularly quite well pikes. Of course, you would also have to try other baits, and that of course also again at other spots. But you then have to do that one after another. I am now first testing this bait, and what I'm now doing to get into the right guidance into the twitching is just a light rotation, so a very slight strike, so to speak. I cast out again loosely, so cast out and then a light rotation, and already we are here in the twitching. Again a light rotation and light rotation. And here you can now already pay attention. What is the line doing? We do not see the bait directly, but we see the line. And in the moment where it becomes a bit loose, the line, we know that the bait after the sinking phase is again in the floating phase. Very important, when you are in the shop and buy such a bait, pay attention that the bait has the designation F. For floating, that is important. The S series, the sinking ones, we don't want to have. because with them it does not work so well. You can use them quite well when you go trolling, for example. But here in this case, where we stand stationary at the shore or maybe from the boat, they're ideally take the F series. And with that, we then come relaxed here into the twitch guidance. You can also see here again on the line, loose pull down, and the line goes back up. Again, loose pull down, and again loose down, and the line rises. That means the bait. And that is exactly this movement we want to have. That is what we must pull through every time, because that is what triggers the most. Now I'm standing up here at the spot at the old fortress. So here in this area, you can always try again, casting all the way back, just pull through loosely, cast out maximum, and then with a light rotation, maybe only a half rotation. I have here speed 50 set, and I do basically only half a rotation, maybe even a quarter rotation only, so that you just very slightly come into this twitching and only make sure that the bait always just goes very loosely under the water surface. And that is what, in the ideal case, triggers the pikes. And if you stand here and nothing goes, then you can either change the spot or, of course, change the bait color. Important is, of course, also to pay attention. When do you stand here? Because now at midday, the bite probability of a pike is very low. The ideal time window is between 5 o'clock in the morning and about 11 o'clock in the morning. And then again in the time from about 3 o'clock in the afternoon until about 11 o'clock in the evening, until it gets dark. And then it slowly stops that the pikes bite. That means now, besides this spot, we now look for another one. I carefully step down from this beam here and run to another spot, because we now just have the time in the phase where the pikes do not bite so well anyway. Out with the bait. And then it means continue testing. And now I'm standing here at a spot that also always works again quite well. And here I stood not long ago and also tried one of the new baits, namely the spinner baits. They also work again and again quite well. And with the spinner baits, you see them at the front at the tip. There you can also use very big versions of the spinner bait, because with pike fishing, we can also use baits that are equipped with even a 5/0 hook or a 4/0 hook. That is absolutely no problem. The pike bites on almost everything, even if the hook is chosen very, very big. Also with the baits, it always means testing colors again and again. Always try again and change. So always try another color. Depending on how the weather conditions are, depending on how the temperatures are, whether sunshine or rain, there you have to always test the retrieving speed. The retrieving method, of course, also, and as said, also always test the colors, because the fish have different preferences again and again. Yes, and so the setup looks that you can put together in the mid-game really fantastic for pike fishing. So the Karma Mector SF78MH in combination, either with an HSV 8000 or with the EVA 6000, that also works, of course, very well. And then I have here in combination once a 19 kilogram monoline and a 45 kilogram steel leader. That means I am with the leader above the main line. And normally you're right, usually one does not do that. Absolutely right. Usually the leader is lower in carrying capacity than the main line. Only with pike fishing, it's about being safe. 100% safe. We are only with steel leader. Fluorocarbon, however, also offers some safety. So thick fluorocarbon already offers some safety. There, you can roughly say, fluorocarbon with a carrying capacity of 20 kilograms holds against a pike of about 10 kilograms. And just as you can, of course, calculate further down, if you use a fluorocarbon with about 10 kilograms, then it could be that a pike of 6 kilograms can already bite through your leader. That means if you want to be 100% safe that the pike does not bite through your leader, you of course take steel. But it has the disadvantage that steel is very visible and thereby scares away other fish. If you are rather searching for other fish and only want to be a bit pike safe, then you of course choose fluorocarbon. With that, you can maybe rather still catch trout and salmon. But with that, you have a small risk that also a pike can still bite through your leader. Yes, and with this setup here, I will now just go at this spot again for pike. You can see, you can cast really far. Also here I must first set everything. Speed 50. Here the brake first set a bit looser, we can still tighten it later, and now I do it exactly like with the big setup. Just here speed 50. I now hold down shift and do only a small movement and am here immediately in the twitch movement. And with that I can now pull the bait here completely through. We now have meanwhile weather change, and that of course also influences again the bait. And it can be that now the color and also the form of the bait is not so much wanted anymore. So we now have rainy weather, very cloudy, and now it means again testing. And especially now at this time of day, you have to hurry a bit so that you, for the evening hours, I say, the premium time for pike fishing is usually around 18 o'clock, that you already have found the fitting bait that then also lures the big pikes. Big advantage of this setup is, of course, that we here have enough carrying capacity, but also a fantastic casting weight. That makes this setup so good. You can use this setup really well up to the Yama or also go trolling with it. So with this setup, you are absolutely well equipped for the mid-game and can then nicely save up for your in-game setup. Yes, slowly it gets dark here, and I have tested and tested and tested. Yes, that also happens, of course, regularly, that you simply do not find the fitting bait with the fitting color, the fitting form, the fitting size. Well, and then you simply have to continue the next day. One big one. I'm now still testing here that also always works again quite well. That, however, goes far too deep down. And that is 3.5 meters depth it goes down theoretically. Come over here. 5, 6, very nice. Yes, and that is this one. Balsa X Shad F95. Yes, and with 3.5 meters depth, it has in any case far too much diving depth. We have here only 1 meter deep, or 1 meter and 20 centimeters, and it wants to go down 3.5 meters. That means with it, you must extremely pay attention, that you only twitch it very loosely, directly up again. You see it at the line, and it comes back up, and then you have this twitch movement. So I do only a very slight clicking with the mouse button, and already you have this twitch movement. That is then the only possibility how you can lead it. And that then simply brings the chance or the possibility here with such big wobblers that are actually much too big for this small water, but exactly right for fishing pike, that simply offers the possibility with such baits to catch the pikes here. On the channel you will find numerous further videos for pike fishing at the Old Fortress. Just have a look. There are still several spots that are really worth it. Also right here below in this area, if you have a reel that maybe does not yet have that much brake power, then it is worth it, especially here in the area to fish pike. So definitely have a look. We now also look quickly what pike brings in silver. And first, of course, we always check in the cafe. And now look at this. That looks good. Pike even as trophy in with 15.5. That's of course really heavy. 12 kilograms trophy weight, 15.5 is expected. That is heavy. 2 pieces. Well, maybe I have to try again in the next round. That would of course not be bad. But that's also rare. So that big cafe order with 2 times 2 kilograms, that is much more frequent. Yes, and here you can see what the pikes bring. So in this price range here, that is really good. But also even these small pikes, and you already get 4 silver for it. That is not bad. Such small pikes up to 3 kilograms, that was also changed some years ago, that they bring more money. And that is worth it. So that you can actually do quite well. Just go with medium baits for medium pikes and big frequency, and then fill up the net, and of course try to make some money. I now wait again for the morning hours, stand again at the same spot, and test further with this very big bait, and then hopefully deliver directly here in the cafe this order again. 170 silver is not bad at all. I gladly take that. If it helped you, leave a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. That helps me a lot. And then we will see each other in the next video or in the next live stream. Until then, tight lines.